The first thing we've got to do with this movement is be realistic about expectations of what kind of jumps we're going to get up, because although it's a shoulder exercise, it's an isolation movement. We're isolating, if we do it right, the side delt, and literally it's that long and it's that wide, and it's about, yeah, spot on that, mate, yeah, and it's about that thick. So the tricky thing with lateral raises is when we're doing them with dumbbells predominantly, or we're doing them with cables, and the stack or the jump is always going to be a big jump up. So if we look at it as like relative weight, so let's say we're benching and we're doing 80 kilos, you're not going to jump to 100. It's a 20% increase in weight. But when you're using dumbbells, you go from 8s, you go from 10 to 10s. It's a big jump up in weight. My maths is probably terrible, that might be more like 25%. But it's a massive jump up, so understanding that that's always going to be a hard increase in weight. But then there's little things that we can do, like rather than jumping too early, we can focus on the technique, making sure the technique's absolutely bang on. And then there's a little thing we can do with the straps and little plates as well, and we can do that on the stack. But it's knowing that it's always going to be a tricky jump up, and then really nailing down and mastering the technique on the weight before you try and jump up, because it's dead easy to just get fixated on increasing weight when we can jump the weight up, like we was doing with a bench the other day. It was too heavy too soon. You go, and once you jump up and the technique breaks, you're never going to correct it, because you want more reps and you want more weight, so you're never going to bring that back. So spending a bit more time on a set weight until you know it's absolutely spot on, and then when it goes up, if it is a big jump up, relative jump up in weight, accepting the fact that it's probably not going to look as perfect, and then spending time perfecting it. So you might go, just for example, you go in 8 to 10 reps on a lateral raise, and you get up to 10 reps on 8 kilos, and then you jump up to 10 kilos. Well, then that 8 rep, you're going to drop down, to 8 reps. You might have to spend a few weeks just on the 8 reps, just perfecting the form. Whereas what we will always try and do is go, right, next weight, I've done 8 reps this week, I'm going to do 9 reps the week after. But it's not ready, the movement's still shoddy, a bit broken. So obviously that's like the weight aspect of it. We'll go through a couple, just the technique. I really like chest supported as well. So if you are on a weight that needs a little bit of perfection, or you're doing either stood up lateral raises or sat down lateral raises, and you try and go that next step up and it's not working, it's too big of a jump, you could switch to a chest supported to make that movement a little bit harder. So we're progressing, we're making it harder, we're targeting the muscle a little bit harder, we're still not jumping up in weight. So when we're doing standing lateral raises, we're going to create a little bit of movement through the hips. It's just natural, it's a bit of a swing. Whereas if you press up against the bench, you keep your chest pinned against the bench, it instantly becomes harder because you've got absolutely no movement. And then what you can do is you can actually start stopping the dumbbells a little bit short of coming all the way together. So if I'm stood here and I'm doing a standing lateral raise, there's absolutely no resistance there. But what I can do is I can create that little bit of momentum. I've not actually done any work there, I'm just swinging them weights. Whereas if we was to go chest against the bench, and then I stop here, from the start of the movement, there's tension straight away. I can't get that bit of a swing and a pendulum motion. So again, these are all little things we can do to help us progress without actually having to increase the weight or reps. So if I'm going from here, bit of hip movement, straight away, as soon as I stop the hip movement and put a bit of a pause in from here, the intensity of that movement's probably just gone up by 25%. But the weights remain the same and I'll do the same amount of reps. So we'll have a little practice with that. Let's do, just so you can feel the difference, let's do a set of 10. with whatever weight's relative, and then we'll try and replicate that same 10 reps with chest against the bench and stopping here rather than coming all the way to the hips. Yeah, makes sense? Let's go. So 10 reps standing, and then we'll push against the bench. Yeah. One of the bigger ones is probably going to be better, Jack, because they don't move as much. Right, pal. So start by just straightening your arms out a fraction. Yeah? Tense your glutes. Good. And then tip them dumbbells in a fraction. Yeah? So another thing we want to watch out for with dumbbells as well is, especially when we start fatiguing, we're naturally going to want to roll these dumbbells out as we come up. If we're rolling them out, we're shifting the weight from our lateral side delts into the front. So the top of the movement, the dumbbells should always be parallel to the ground. Yeah? When we get tired, we're going to want to go like that and turn them up. Yeah? Essentially what we've done, when we turn the dumbbell up, we rotate the shoulder. So instead of the work being here, it's now here and here as well. So the dumbbells always have to stay completely parallel with the ground. And that's why I always cue people to start with the dumbbell turned in a fraction. If you start here, it's naturally going to turn out. If you start with the dumbbell turned in a little bit, you're more likely to keep it nice and level and flat at the top. Yeah? All right, go on, we'll do one more set. Make sure the weight is, it's a tough 10 reps. Use a weight that's going to be hard for 10. Nice and clean. Again, sometimes you might not even have to increase the weight. It's just a case of cleaning the form. Perfect. So there's so many little tweaks we can actually make to make that movement harder. Good. Nice. Yeah, that's class, Jeff. Now on the next 2 reps, Jake, another little thing we can do to make it harder, don't let the dumbbells touch your legs. Keep the tension on at the bottom. Slow. Good. So instead of going from a point of resting, where the dumbbells are sat here against your legs just kind of hanging, we're keeping a bit of tension on. Again, it's just going to make it that little bit harder. So even though the weight and the numbers haven't gone up, you made that movement harder. Right, now use the same weight, but let's go chest against the bench. These bigger, heavier benches are a little bit easier to do it with because you can kneel on it. Yeah? So now we're going to completely eliminate any kind of momentum through the hips. Yeah? Taking Jeff's fingers off. Last thing he needs. So is that the same weight? Yeah. How much harder has that just got? Harder, yeah. Yeah. Good. So turn that dumbbell in a fraction from the beginning, and then actually try and start the movement there. Yeah? Up. How many did you get on the last set?
9.5.
Right, how many we got now? 4. Yeah.
I know. Can't lift them.
Paint me like one of you girls, Jack. You give it a go, Jack. How much harder has that just got? 25% maybe? Yeah? You could even probably drop that weight back down and make it hard on that. Yeah? So, basically to try and summarise, before we go up with weight or reps, we've got kill momentum. So don't move any other part of the body, so really isolate. We've got slowing it down, keeping the tension on. So that, for this example, is stopping shy of it coming all the way into the middle. So it's that in itself seems a bit counterintuitive because we're always talking about full range of motion. Sometimes you can shorten the range of motion to make it harder. If you use like a hack squat's a good example for that. A lot of people will find it easier if you go all the way into the hole and then you get a bit of a kind of stretch reflex, yeah, out of the knees at the bottom. Whereas if you come down and you try and physically stop it yourself and then go back up, you've just made it harder. So there's so many different ways to progress without introducing or affecting the weight or reps.
And the 10-second rest between sets probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Well, that's just an example. Now, a little trick with dumbbells, if we are going to really struggle, if we've implemented all them things and then that jump from the one set of dumbbells up to the next, some gyms have got like a 3 kilo increase on dumbbells. It's wild. So I'm going to grab some plates.
Next one's 17 and a half, and you're like,
Just walk into the class and go,
yeah, but when it used to be in the other room, it was used to go and get them, but now it's moved upstairs, like, can't really.
What's that?
Who thinks about this? Like, I've never thought about this. Yeah, it's going to be a really clever idea. I've never thought about it myself.
I've spent way too much time in gyms, Jeff. That's the problem.
If you made something yourself,
I honestly don't know where I picked this up from.
it's just got trap my finger all over it.
So the now 11.25 kilo dumbbells. So instead of a 2 kilo jump or a 2.5 or some gyms 3, you've just took it up by 4 in your gym. There you go. So you can incrementally tweak it up. Yeah, a little bit awkward, a little bit of a faff, but if you're really getting stuck, you've implemented all them tweaks and changes and you've just maxed out on that weight and you jump up and the form just goes to shit, it's a way of edging it up. Right, let's done some fluffy stuff. Let's go on to shoulder pressing now, because this is something that
Mine goes up like 1 kilo to 10, and then it's 2 after that. So
yeah.
it's not